Hello, it's Tom here from Disability Services, and I thought I'd just make a quick video pointing folk to a tool that might be useful in regards to trying to get a perspective on what some of our students are dealing with. It's a disability simulator for the web, which means that what it does, it simulates various issues that many of our students face when it comes to access. Although this in no way means that this shows us exactly what the students who we see are having to deal with, it does give us a little snapshot of an insight into some of the problems that they may face when it comes to primarily using technology. In this case, it's in the form of a Chrome extension, and its name is Funkify. So if we go onto the link here, I've tapped in Disability Simulator into our search bar, and Funkify is the second, third link that comes up. So I'm going to press on that. That takes me to the Google Chrome extension page. Now there's two options. We're not going to buy anything at the moment, but we're going to add it to Chrome, which will add it to your Chrome toolbar once you are using the Chrome search engine. We add the extension, and there we have it. So this is our landing page for Funkify extension, but what we have here in the top right hand corner is we have the extension itself. So I'm going to visit a fairly well used website and show you what happens if you use this extension. So this is a website that I'm sure you're all familiar with. It's the BBC News website. I've put it into the tech and business section just to give us a story, today's story, Amazon flooded by fake 5-star reviews. Now, I'll show you what happens when we use the Funkify extension. What we are given is we are giving a series of options as to the simulation that we want to experience. We have now, the one thing that I don't like about this app is the labeling when it comes to the issues and disabilities. We have things, I'm assuming they're going for humorous, but we have things like blurry Bianca, colour Carl, dyslexia Danny, as if these issues define the people that have them. I'm not keen on that at all, but as a tool to give us some form of insight into the issues that are faced, it's not too bad. Let's try dyslexia Danny to start off with. So we have a little bit of information about the impairment, and then we have a little bit of information about the simulator, but I want you to have a look at this. This is a bar that shows you the severity of the impairment, so you can change that given how difficult or how easy you want to go. And so if I stick it up to 10 in this case and have a look at the screen itself, and what we have here is we have a simulation of the what many of my students call the floating effect of letters when they are trying to read from the screen. Now these are students who have been identified as having dyslexia or certain dyslexic traits. These are students who may struggle with concentration, and what happens is, as you can see on the screen, the text, the extension takes the text and plays with it. Basically it makes it difficult to read, it makes it difficult to pin down, it makes it changes certain words, and it does that in a fairly constant state, thereby simulating to an extent what problems some of our students may have. As I've already stated, this does not mean that we completely understand the issues. This is simply a snapshot of some of the problems that the students might face. I would be daft to think that I now understand the position, and I now can place myself exactly in the position of somebody who has dyslexia, because I do not. But what it does, it gives us a taste, it gives us a very, very small insight into the issues that are faced. Let's have a look at something else. Let's have a look at another of the issues that you may come across with your students, or your students may come across, of course. This one here looks at tunnel vision. This is a once again, the bar represents how severe the tunnel vision is. If you have a look in the top corner here, or if you have a look now, you can see the small circle that simulates tunnel vision is a couple of inches across. You can make that smaller or larger as you go through to simulate the severity of the tunnel vision. And of course, if we try to read these particular pages, we can understand that, of course, that may become a slight issue for us who are not used to having these problems when reading screens. It gives us a little bit of a view into how difficult it can be at times for some of our students. I'll do one more. What we have here is we have something that simulates or tries to simulate the experience of being overloaded when it comes to your senses. Now, it comes with a warning because it says that this might be a little severe for some people, and that's absolutely fine. I'm okay. I believe I've already tested it myself. I'll press start. Now, you may hear audio and you may see things that are not necessarily anything to do with the information on the screen. Now, what that does is that represents or simulates perhaps the feeling of being overloaded when it comes to senses and such that students who have ADHD who may experience. And as you can see, I'm finding it quite difficult to communicate myself. I'm just going to turn that off for the moment so I can talk to you normally. So, Funkify, it's a Google Chrome extension. It gives us a small insight into some of the issues that our students face. Of course, as staff, we understand those issues already because we are in contact with the students themselves, and our students communicate those issues to us. However, speaking as somebody who is able-bodied, somebody who doesn't have any of the issues or problems that the students who we often see face, I think it's important sometimes to place ourselves in the position of our students and try to kind of gain an insight into some of the things that they have to go through. Well, that's just a quick tip, a quick app. I'll put the link to the extension in the description on the Sharing Good Practice page. Hopefully you found that useful, and we might look at it in a further training session. So if you've got any questions, just email me or come into the office. My email is t.m.starkey@leeds.ac.uk. Thanks a lot for listening.